Greetings folks, 2improper here, bringing you yet another in my series, and I'm going to try to make this a short video. Today we're going to get to the bottom of why I'm called 2improper, and this was spurred on by a conversation that I was having with a person in another forum, and he basically hit the nail right on the head about why I am called 2improper, and I will spell it out for you right here. Just in case you're wondering, if you haven't already guessed by now, I'm called 2improper because my personal value system, my personal core system, forbids me. I will not be able to live with myself if I let the way I feel, think, what I enjoy, who I embrace, what I consider proper and everything to be dictated by a system or systematic expectations. That's pretty simply put, and I can even go on further and say that I do not believe that a system, the government, should be telling us what kind of people to be. And they should not be trying to brainwash the populace with their behavioral engineering, their expected behavioral standards. Because the minute we let the government tell us what they think is a good behavioral standard, such as, say, political correctness and other such things, we start to abandon who we are as a people. We start to abandon our own self-reliance, our own independence, and then pretty soon we will start to look to the government to tell us who we are and how we're going to be. I didn't give myself the name 2improper. It was given to me by a manager years ago in a performance review, and here's why. Years ago, they were explaining to us in a very large group at this university that I worked at. That alone right there should tell you statist systematic expectation. They had us all in this room and they were telling us what to expect with affirmative action. Affirmative action was coming. They were telling us what it was about, why we should like it, why this is the right thing to do, why it's good, and why it's going to be a nationwide, and it was, a nationwide system widely in use. Those of you who are old enough know what affirmative action is, and just to give a little brief synopsis, it's to select from an equally qualified pool of people, the minorities, the women or whatever, for advancement for the purpose of upholding and using this system. Basically, that's what it was. If there's 3 equally qualified people, they were going to choose the minority of those 3 equally qualified people for the purpose of making sure minorities get opportunities. Now, from a surface standpoint, that sounds pretty good. But they were explaining all of this to us. But in the back of my head, I'm sitting here thinking, there's still something really not right about this. And many other people thought the same thing too. So did you. But as they went on and they got done explaining things to us, and they finally asked if there were any questions, I raised my hand to the presenter and said, "Excuse me," I go, "but the one thing that I don't get is that we're calling this right." I said, if we cannot deny, and that's not that I want to, but if we cannot deny people opportunities, advancement, admission, or whatever based on their religion, color, race or whatever, right? How is it that we can call it correct by admitting them based on those traits? Oh, the room went quiet and everyone was giving me stink eye. I just pointed out the elephant in the room and I was not supposed to do that. The presenter, of course, condescendingly explained to me why affirmative action was right again and why I'm supposed to just absolutely adore the idea. Now look, folks, I want minorities to have, and minorities, women, and whoever, even Ohio State fans, I want them all to have the same opportunities to advance and be admitted as everyone else. I want that. But therefore, for the purpose of being fair, I saw that affirmative action was actually discrimination within itself and pointed it out. She vehemently disagreed with me. Later on, after the rest of that session and me getting stink eye from this presenter, and whenever she was going to explain anything that was going to help people get it and stuff like that, she would look directly at me from that point forward. Later on that year, my manager actually had that surface in my performance review. And I was referred to as too improper. And it reflected on my professionalism, I believe it was. So because I asked the question that made sense, and everybody knows that it made sense, it was a professionalism mark on me, and I was considered too improper. So I didn't give myself the name. I got that name actually from that employer. So that's how I got the name too improper. I have never behaved in a way that people have expected. Not because I want to be uncooperative. Not because I'm a jerk, because you'll find that I'm actually quite a polite person. And I'm humorous, but I'm polite. But I don't believe that the system should be telling us how we're supposed to behave. To be politically correct, which is tyranny with manners, as they say. Political correctness is basically social engineering. And I'm a person who's too improper because I reject social engineering. I don't agree in government subjugation of the citizens by social engineering, and I do not believe in systematic control. I believe in free thinking, First Amendment, Second Amendment, the whole frickin' Constitution. I believe in free people in the United States, and that includes without government control, and that includes without systematic control. That's why I'm too improper. Thank you for watching. My email address is scrolling across the bottom of this screen as we speak right now. That's tooimproper@gmail.com. Write and I will answer you, provided you are polite about your question and I have the time. God bless America, and keep on protecting your families and yourselves, regardless of what the system wants you to believe. It's your duty as a human being to protect your family and yourself and innocent people in your surroundings, and it's always the right thing to do.